Hey, I am live. Good evening. This is Gwyn Gittens, and I'm coming to you from uh, my sister's porch, actually, in Texas. So let me make sure I am on live and everyone can see me. Do you see it yet?
I'm trying to get to it. On Facebook? No.
YouTube, it should be on. Okay. Um, I think what happens, I have to wait a moment until it actually is showing up on Facebook, and then I'll add everybody. So at the beginning of this, what I will say to you is, first of all, I am Gwyn Gittens. I am on the Lee County School Board. This is not a school board event. This is Gwyn Gittens just talking to you about education and things that are most of importance with education in Lee County. If you are a board member, please do not log on at this moment, and you will be able to see it afterwards, and you will be able to add your questions and all that. So I'm waiting a moment until the stream can get over to Facebook, and then I'll be able to add everybody in. So give me just a moment to do that.
I believe the first video you did on YouTube.
Yeah, I thought I deleted that one.
It's like about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so folks, we're live right now, and I am trying to get you up. So give me 1 second. And if not, I will try this later. But I do want to show you the I want to show you the survey that you are going to do. So sorry to be on the phone as well. Uh, okay. No, it should be on Gwinnetta Holloway Gittens. Do you see it? Yeah, no. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. I think I'm up now. Um, I am coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm sitting on my sister's porch. We had a unfortunate situation in our family and family emergency, so I flew to Texas the other day, and I will be here for a few days. I but I definitely wanted to come uh, to come on this evening, and I'm not sure why it's not showing up. I think you can hear me. Hmm. Not. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now I'm on, and of course there's a plane overhead. But anyway, I wanted to come on just for a few minutes this evening, even though I'm not at home with my fancy light and all that stuff. As you can see, I'm outside on the porch. But I wanted to share with you the importance of doing the superintendent survey. And I found out too that a brown background with a brown person is not the best. But anyway, so I'm going to show you, and while I'm live, let me just say this. I want to make sure that you all realize I am Gwyn Gittens, and I'm on the Lee County School Board, but this is not a school board event. If you are a school board member, I am asking that you please do not comment. You can watch it later on. You can comment all you want to afterwards. I don't want to break sunshine, so I'd appreciate if you didn't join with us at this point. I don't have a guest this evening. I should have, but it's been a whirlwind of a week dealing with family situations. Yes, I see Mrs. Torres, so I know I'm live and alive. All right. So I'm only going to stay on for a little bit, but I did want to tell you about the importance of the superintendent survey, search survey. As you know, we are looking for a superintendent in Lee County Schools, and in order to do that, uh, we're working with Ray and Associates, who's the company that is doing most of the heavy lifting work part of it, and they have a whole process. If you watched uh, any of the board meetings where we met with them and talked about what they would do and all of that. So I want to just go through the survey, which is the first thing. In order to know what type of superintendent we want to have, you want to have, we need, and our children need, then we're preparing the questions and the ad and the application and all of that to reflect what it is we're looking for. So, therefore, you have this survey that is the 31 characteristics of a superintendent. So, you get an opportunity to say what are the most critical characteristics that you think a superintendent should have. So, hi, Jay. Thanks for joining. So, I'm going to go over it. I feel, every time you hear me on the board, I'm always saying, why use a $25 word when a $5 one will do? And especially because we want everyone to feel that their input is needed and therefore make it understandable for everybody. So I think that it's a little bit in the $20 word realm. It's very academic. So that's why I wanted to come on and just kind of explain a little bit so that you understand. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share that screen with you and to you. If you've already taken the survey, it went out first to employees and teachers and all these folks, and then it went out to the public. They have extended the time that it's going to be out to the public because we need as much input as possible. But I feel that that input will increase if you understand all that it's going on. So let me switch screens now. Yes, I can do that and show you the survey. Okay, so I hope you are seeing that. I can't see your comments at this time, but I will go back to them in a second. And again, if you're just joining in, I am sitting on my sister's porch in Fort Worth, Texas. Um, I had to come down on a family emergency, so um, just bear with me. If you hear the dogs or the cars or somebody deciding to cut the grass, it's life. So here's the survey, and it is the School District of Lee County 31 Quality Survey. Deadline now is October the 7th. I believe this is what they changed it to. After that, well, that's my sister's dog. After that, we're going to have, I think it's the 26th and 27th are going to be the days that community members are going to give their input, and similar to what I'm doing right now, but they'll be able to ask questions and all that. So just quickly going through. First of all, it says, which group do you represent? He'll stop in a minute. Which group do you represent? And then the survey. Please read each of the following 31 qualities and mark 10 characteristics you believe are most important to the organization in selecting a candidate for superintendent. Um, and basically, you do not need to prioritize your selection, simply place a check mark. So, in other words, you've got 31 choices, and you go through and you figure what are the 10 that are most important to you, to your children, to the community, as far as a leader of our school district. So I'll go really quickly, and if you, I'll click back and forth, see if anybody has any questions or comments. Let me see. Yes, Wanda, the dog does have input. Okay. All right. Thank you, and I love you too, and thanks so much for joining in. Hey, Jewel. Okay, so I'll switch back over to the screen, and I'll come back from time to time to see what questions you guys have. All right, so the first one, and I looked at this and looked at these questions, and people said to me, well, some of them seem very similar. I think it's one of those, this is me and my psychology background, where you ask 30 questions, but interspersed throughout there are the same kind of basic questions, if you know what I mean, and you ask them in different ways. So in the end, the way it turns out is if you really are strong on this, it'll show, because every question that has to do with that, you will have answered positively to. So remember, you're only choosing 10. So take a good look at it and see. Um, the neighbors are waving. I love Texas. Okay. Is, and this is referring to the superintendent, they are willing to listen to input, and they are a decision maker. So, in other words, is it really important to you for the superintendent, the person that sits there finally when the music stops, to be someone who listens and takes it in, and makes decisions and stands by it? How important is that to you? And remember, you're not ranking them, so you're just saying that's really important. Next, possesses the leadership skills, knowledge, and sensitivity required to respond to the opportunities and challenges presented by a diverse student body and community. Okay, I got some pushback from some people about this question that has to do with diversity. My response to them as to why this was important is that we still are a 60-40 majority minority school district. Um, and we have to take that into consideration. And as I explained it to them, there will be other questions that kind of lean toward diversity, because we have to make sure that the person is willing, able, and capable of handling a district that is 60% minority and 40% speak a different language at home. 40% of our students go home every evening, and no matter how much English they speak um, at school, they go home and they speak a dialect of this, or Spanish, or New Yorican, or Cuban Castilian, or Creole, or whatever. They go home and they speak in their native language, and they come back the next day to start all over again. So it is important to know if this person is aware of our demographic of our district, and not that they're going to treat anybody any differently, but that it's just important to know that. Is able to work with legislators. Key topics can lead an organization throughout the legislative process. How important is that to you, that they are in with the legislative process? That's up to you. possess an earned doctorate or education doctorate or PhD. How important is um, education and what level? We did talk on the board before about having some business acumen, business experience. So that's why I think they're saying an education doctor or a PhD in something. Um, but is that necessary? Do you feel that it's necessary? It's your survey response. And remember, you can choose 10. Has a strong moral compass that is rooted in justice and equality. Okay. In other words, are they uh, equal to everyone? And some people got hung up on this one. It's not what you may think. It is basically, um, this is one of those examples of what was the other one? Number two that talked about sensitivity with opportunity, diverse student body. Well, and this one is talking about moral compass. In other words, can the person morally deal with in an equal way with all different types of people? As a strong communicator in speaking and listening and writing, and that's pretty simple. Demonstrates commitment to community visibility. Well, we always talk about that. How visible do you want them to be in the community? That kind of goes to being a people person. Has experience recruiting and maintaining exceptional staff for district and schools. Now, we could get someone who's more of a business person than an education person, but this still can apply with their recruiting. One of the questions we may ask is, have you recruited for a staff before, an executive staff? Is able to build consensus and commitment among individuals in a group. This is why a lot of the stuff is very similar. Moral compass, being able to get consensus, just I see all of those as ability to work with people to come up with decisions. Has experience working with employee representative groups or unions, is able to delegate and oversee work. Are they a delegator or not? Has experience with effective management, planning practices, long term financial practice that will benefit long term financial health of the district. So if they've never run a budget and we're hiring somebody to take over a $1.9 billion budget, that's kind of tricky. Possesses excellent interpersonal skills. Again, that same type of tone of working with others. Is a non traditional hybrid candidate with business and private sector. Okay, there goes the baby dog again. One of the neighbors is passing by. Sorry about that. Traditional or hybrid candidate. A hybrid candidate is one who has education and business, which is important that you know how to run the business side as well as the education piece. Strongly committed is strongly committed to a student-centered philosophy. And I'm sure we will ask questions about that to draw that out. Capable of developing both short and long-term, long-range district goals, and can develop and communicative vision. And I look at some of these and things. We think we do have a strategic plan. We have a vision. We have a goal. So one of the questions is, if we have a vision and a goal, is this person looking to come and just change all of that, or to work within the structure that's already here and that is working? Has experience in the selection, implementation of educational priorities and the interests and needs of the board and the community. Committed to the importance of both the academic and extracurricular programs. And I'm going to stop right there for a second, go back and see what questions, if you guys have any questions. Hold on. Okay. I don't see anything that anybody has over there. All right, so I'll go back and I'll finish up real quick. Promotes positive and inclusive student behavior conducive to health and safety of learning. So, as you can see, a lot of things are very similar. And when you do this type of survey, it's kind of created that way so that your thoughts really rise to the top. Provides leadership in planning and implementation. Same thing about a leader. Comfortable leading innovation and reform. Able to lead district diversity and equity and inclusion efforts. Again, some people were concerned about this one, but do not forget we are a 60-40 um, majority minority district. That's just who we are. And we have to know that the person is able, capable, and willing to work with a majority minority district. Has the ability to develop and maintain reciprocal relationships with a business community. And this is where I think we talked about having someone that has a business acumen or business experience so that they know how to do that, how to bridge that gap. Possesses, now here comes the ambulance. Okay. Possesses the ability to enhance student performance, kind of rewording that previous, but by closing and narrowing the gaps in student achievement. How important is that? That should be our biggest goal, actually. Makes recommendations and data driven decisions. So basically, this is saying, is the person a data person? Can they look at data, come up with some rational way of using that data? Or is it someone that just oh, yes, I understand this data and not do anything with that? Has knowledge of emerging research and best practices in education. Promotes positive and professional environment that includes mutual trust and respect for staff, faculty, staff, administration, and the board. Commitment to experience working with all genders, races, and socioeconomic. Another one of those questions that gets at the willingness, ability, and desire to work with a majority minority district. Demonstrates a deep understanding of special education and has classroom experience in a K 12 setting. Now, you're going to say, well, how can you get a businessman that knows all of this and is also taught in K 12? That's why at the beginning of this, it is saying these are 31 like up there qualities, the whole thing. If that's not something that you think is important, then you don't choose it as one of your 10. You're looking through these and you are choosing them, just the 10 that are most important. And I suggest you do it, maybe print it out or make your choices and then sit it down and come back to it. You have until October 7th, although we want you to get them done as soon as possible. Um, but then go back and take a look at it. Talk to your family about it. Talk to your kids about it. I don't think we do enough of talking to our kids, and we underestimate, oh, there's wasps out here. And we underestimate what they know and what they think. So don't underestimate them. They have experience in education, they have things that they like and like to see. So, that, my friends, is basically the 31 questions. And what is the 60-40? Oh, okay, I see the question. 60-40 is we are a majority minority district. That's 60% of our students. Oh, if this WASP doesn't go away, I'll be leaving you in a second. Um, we have 60% minorities, Hispanic and Black, and et cetera, in our district. So that's what the 60-40 is. And they get to those questions asking different questions. So, anyone have any other questions about the survey? Again, you're choosing 10 that are most important to you. If you don't understand some of them, you can send me a question or send a question into the district, whatever. Um, so that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. I am, like I said in the beginning, I am in Fort Worth, Texas. We had a Actually, a death in the family this week, and I'm here with the family helping out. And but I wanted to come and make sure that you understand how to fill out the survey. Please fill it out. We need and want as many people as possible. If anyone has any questions, you can send them to me now or later. I am televising this on Facebook as well as YouTube, and the YouTube site is just Gwyn Gittens. So if someone does not have Facebook, share this with them so that they know where to go and how to do this as well. And I think I am, unless there's any other questions. So 60% is minorities. Yes, 60% is minorities. I think it's 40% Hispanic and 20% Black and other is what that is. So that's why all of the questions about how to, um, about working with diverse groups and all that, because that's what we are. So, guys, like I said, I'm not keeping you very long. This time change, it's only 7 o'clock here. It's 8 o'clock there, and that's why I got on late for one thing. But I'm on, and it is here for you to watch. Please share and share it all over, and ask friends and family. Please do the survey. If the survey is only as good as the number of people and the different types of people that complete the survey. We can't just have, one spectrum of the community filling it out because that skews the results. We need to hear from everybody. Talk to your kids. They would have an answer. You can talk to them about some of this. So, folks, I am going to go. I want to give a shout out to my family for being awesome, and I want to give a shout out to a lot of my extended family. We went to a funeral last weekend and realized that some of our family in Atlanta, hey hot Atlanta people, hey Port St. Lucie people, thank you all so much, and New York and New Jersey. Thanks for following me and thanks for watching, and mainly for our folks in Lee County. Please fill out the survey. Your voice matters and it counts. I will get back on. I may come on once again, um, maybe Sunday or so, because we do have meetings next week. We have board meetings on Monday and on Tuesday. And I have not looked at all of the agenda yet, but I'm sure there will be some agenda and questions about some of the things that have happened. And the basic thing to remember as far as the mask, we are back where we were in the beginning of school, where parents can opt out of having their children wear masks to school. I know that this decision did not actually help, or everyone didn't like it, but we can never please everybody all the time. So thank you so much. We will continue to do our job of keeping students and staff and everybody as safe as we possibly can. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back in town this weekend. So bye everybody. Take care. Be safe out there. And remember, life is short. It can be shorter than you think. Take care. Thank you, Linda. I'm glad you came on as well. So thank you guys. Take care. I'll be back in the Big L on the weekend, and I'll be back on sometime to tell you about the meeting next Monday and Tuesday. Please message me if you have any questions, and we want to make sure you understand what all is going on so that you can be a part of it. Thanks again. Love you guys. Bye.